Hey guys, James here. Today we're talking about Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel. Take a look at the cover now because I'm going to put the book down. Right, Station 11. What is it about? You may have heard of it. It was pretty popular on BookTube actually. Probably about a year after it came out. It was like 2015, that sort of time when it was like everyone was talking about it. So, what is the book about? It's kind of hard to put a plot synopsis on it because, like a lot of books that I read and find struggle to put into words with the plot, it's very character driven. So basically, the setup of the book is that there's a big flu pandemic worldwide that wipes out like 95% of the population. So if you're watching this video contemporarily, that would be thematically appropriate for the current times. If you're watching this in the past, it's coronavirus. Look it up if you don't know what that is. I thought it was quite topical to reread this now. This is a reread. I'm a big fan of Emily St John Mandel. I've read all of her books, but I haven't reviewed. I think I've reviewed most of them on the channel, but I think this one, like, I read before I started BookTube, whatever. So it's about this flu pandemic. Getting back to the point, it's about this flu pandemic, and essentially it's about this group of traveling. They're called the Traveling Orchestra or the Traveling Symphony. I think it's Traveling Symphony. So it's about this group of traveling performers. Basically, they do Shakespeare plays and they do like concerts for little towns that have started to rebuild in the like 20 years after the big apocalyptic event. And more importantly, it flashes back in time to see sort of how these people's lives were before the disaster and the collapse. So it's essentially split into two narrative timelines. The main thread, we follow Kirsten, who is this woman who is in the symphony. So she, like, her plot line is just like the main story, I guess, in the post-apocalypse, and then we flash back to various different people as she travels around, and you get the idea. Like, it's stories within story, kind of. Yeah. So putting the structure to one side, what's really great about this story is sort of just like the dreamlike quality to it, because it flashes back and forward in time to various different bits and pieces. We sort of we don't get a solid grasp on time frame or like narrative, and characters will sort of appear and disappear at different points in the story, and we don't get like a huge amount of different perspective characters. I think we get three main perspective characters, and that's Kirsten, Miranda, and Clark, and basically all of these characters are linked to this one other character who dies at the beginning of the flu outbreak from an unrelated heart attack. So yeah, it's kind of sort of goes in and out of their perspectives and sheds light on the different like character interactions between the different people, both before and after the apocalypse. And really, I think more so than the plot and the characters and all that, like what this you can take away from this book more than anything else is like the themes and it's basically all about themes. It's much more of a literary fiction kind of thing than general post-apocalyptic dystopian kind of book would be. The writing is very good. I think it is anyway. I just really like the way that ideas are expressed and consolidated into a story, but whilst simultaneously not getting bogged down in all of these like plot elements. There's no deep lore. The deep lore of Station 11, like, it doesn't exist. You'll never get one of those YouTube channels that reads Wikipedia articles about someone's hairbrush and how it was vitally important to some sort of event. Like, that's not what you're getting into here. It's a very simple story that is written to convey certain ideas about hope and like unity in the human race, and what we should treasure and what we should bring forward, and the things that people try to hold on to and remember when things go badly. So that's kind of what it's all about. Obviously, it's a book from one of my favourite authors ever. So I'm bound to like it. I would suggest checking it out if you haven't. I don't really have too much more to say on it. But here you go. Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel. Read it if you haven't. It's quite topical. So maybe don't read it on a plane to Thailand or whatever at this current time. But yeah, check it out. It's good. I enjoyed it. Next week we're going to be doing a discussion about Before They Are Hanged, which is the second in the First Law trilogy. And I'll see you then. Bye for now.